The ANC has now met the IEC's second deadline for registering its election candidates, but the party says it's impossible to resolve all of its internal disputes before the polls. The party's Deputy Secretary General Jessie Duarte was briefing the media at Luthuli House earlier today. eNCA's Pule Letshwiti-Jones has more on that briefing.
Just days after being handed a lifeline by the IEC, the ANC managed to register all its candidates on Tuesday. But the party still has over 700 disputes that need to be resolved. That includes acting against party members accused of rigging and manipulating candidate lists. The ANC says it can't deal with the disputes right now, but only after the municipal elections in accordance with the party's National Executive Committee guidelines.
Post the election, we will sit down with people who still feel aggrieved, but one thing everybody is going to have to understand: we had a process. We went to the NEC, the Electoral Committee, led by Kgalema Motlanthe, drafted guidelines. They brought those guidelines to the National Executive Committee. The National Executive Committee adopted those guidelines. The National Executive Committee is the decision-making structure between conferences. Those guidelines have authority. And therefore, any person is going to have to accept that.
The ANC will contest every single of the 4,468 wards in all 257 metros, local and district municipalities in the country. But the issue of funds to campaign with remains a concern. ANC head of elections Fikile Mbalula has reportedly said the party is looking at spending no more than 50 million rand on its campaign, an amount that is a moving target. Duarte wasn't sure.
On funding, on expenditure, I really haven't a clue, because Fikile Mbalula is the head of the elections, so I'm not going to hazard a guess. I think it's dangerous to do so. No, I really haven't a clue. What we know we need posters. We need to do some digital media. So whatever that costs is what the best person and the knowledgeable person, and if he has raised the figure with you, then that is probably the correct figure.
Meanwhile, some ANC staffers say the end of September will be the third month that their salaries and UIF payouts remain in arrears. It's a matter the ANC is yet to resolve. Pule Letshwiti-Jones in Johannesburg.